Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of Storytime with Kelly Willie Rowe. I thought on this and I'd tell you about what it's like to work with some of the characters that I work with at these nuclear power plants. When they shut a nuclear power plant down, it's called an outage, and it costs the owners of the company, the company that owns the power plant, it costs them $1–2 million a day of lost revenue for that unit to be offline. So they pretty serious about working the far out of you while you're there. 10, 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and all that. Well, I'm a sheet metal welder, so they call all these travelers from all over America, and they come to one of these power plants, and we go to work working around a darn clock. Man, you work 30, 40 days. Everybody's tired of being away from home and everything, and towards the end of that, a lot of them old boys, you're looking forward to getting laid off and going home because you done moneyed up and ready to go and been in one place too long. Well, we was all down here at Homestead working at the power plant down there, and these buddies of mine, one of them's named Willie, he's from Ohio, Charlie, he's from Michigan, and Terry, they're from Indiana. They pretty good old boys, you know, despite the fact they're Yankees. Well, me and Terry were staying at a campground off down there in Homestead. Willie and Charlie's up in a motel room together. Well, on this first layoff down there, all the welding was done, and I mean being a local hand, they laid off them 3 travelers, Willie, Terry, and Charlie. Well, then Willie starts hollering, "Oh, it's Destructo Day." Well, being new at the outage thing, I'd only done 2 or 3. I didn't know what he meant by Destructo, but he said that's lay off, paid off, and get tore out of frame night. So, well, everybody got off work. Me and Terry went back to campground. Willie and Charlie showed up in a little while, and they had one of them big old bottles about that big of Grey Goose vodka and a whole bunch of Red Bull. Now, that's a young people's thing and drinking hard liquor and energy drinks. Me, I just was drinking my little rum and cokes or something like that. Well, hell, it ain't even 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and where me and Terry's campground, where my trailer and Terry's motorhome was, right across from it was where all the old people got their shuffleboard courts and all that, and they had some horseshoe pitching places and all. And in between that's a little concrete slab with some picnic tables. Well, they commenced, Terry and Charlie and Willie all commenced to sitting down over there with that Red Bull and that Grey Goose, and boy, they bubbling that bottle and hammered on that damn Red Bull. Well, between the 3 of them in one of them big old like $60 bottles, it took them about 30 minutes, and they done killed that. Well, in 30 minutes, I ain't had like 2 rum and cokes, and I'm a-watching. Well, then they start, you know, before they can get real tore out of frame, they done emptied that bottle, and Willie hollers, "I'm going to the liquor store." So they all threw down 20s, and he took off again. I ain't advocating drunk driving, but they're grown men, they can do what they want. So here in about 15 minutes, here comes Willie back, and by then all that damn liquor's starting to settle on them. And they all wobbling around there and everything, and they spun the top on that second bottle, and they commenced to getting after it again. Well, I'm on about my 3rd rum drink, and I'm sitting there watching them. And buddy, they just a-bubbling that bottle. When they got about halfway down on it, old Charlie from Michigan, he turned that thing up one time, and you could tell it wasn't going to work. And when he come off of that bottle, it come out. Every opening in his head, I think maybe even his ears, had vodka fly out of it. Well, somebody grabbed a damn high-dollar bottle of liquor to keep Charlie from dropping it, and he goes wobbling off. Well, here's Terry and Willie still sitting there, and they're pounding on it. By now, they're done got to where they got their arms around each other, and "I love you, man," and all that shit, and still pounding on it. Well, I finished my little rum drink, went back over to my trailer and made me another, and come on back out. Like I said, it might be 5:30, 5:45, ain't even dark. And when I come out of my trailer, Terry's sitting there at the picnic table with his head all hanging down. Willie's laying over here on the slab, passed out with his head hanging off of it, and other people's over there throwing horseshoes not a foot from him. Can't find Charlie nowhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get Terry up and get him back to his motorhome. It ain't 50 foot. Well, I get him up, and he's all, "I love you, man, I'm going to beat your ass," and all this. And we start walking across there and get across a little old road, and Terry had this little old car, little green car that he towed behind his motorhome. Well, he had to stop right there and put his head down and breathe for a minute. But when he raised his head up, there was some bird poo on top of it. Well, when he looked at that, oh, folks, here, old gut track reversed on him. He couldn't hold it no more. And I'm standing there trying to hold him. Well, he puked all in my damn right crop, but it was just Red Bull and Grey Goose. So I'm getting old Terry over there, and he couldn't even get in his motorhome. He found him old bag chair, and he crashed out there like that, arm hanging out. Well, then I go over and I get Willie up and go and get him back over to the car where him and Charlie come in with. I get old Willie over there and he's going, I love you, man. I'm going to beat your ass all the way over there and everything. And I look, laying there in the damn back seat is my buddy Charlie. And he's one of the few fellers I know with foresight enough to bring a damn pillow to a drinking party. Because he was sleeping like a dead hooker in a dumpster laying in the back seat of that damn car. Well, I had to get Willie in there and wake Charlie up. And Charlie assured me that he could drive, so they took off. Well, I go get me another rum drink, and I'm looking over at my buddy Terry. Now, this is the Florida Keys, Key Largo. You don't want to sleep outside at night. So I'm going over there, starting to get dark, and keep trying to get Terry up. And he's, leave me alone, man. I'm going to beat your ass. Leave me alone, you know. So I went in his motorhome and got a big old Afghan or blanket or something to cover him up. But the way he was laying, he had one arm hanging out. So it got on dark and everything, you know, and I went in my trailer and I'm watching a little TV, having a few more little drinks. And I look out the window and I can see Terry over there. I go back over there a couple hours and he, dude, leave me alone, man. So I went on to bed about 11, 12 o'clock. Well, being old, you have to get up in the middle of the night to pee and everything. And I looked out the window about 4 in the morning and he done, I guess he'd come to, woke up and everything. He's gone out of the chair. So I reckon he's back in his motorhome. Well, the next morning he's out there going to pack his stuff up and leave and everything. And folks, I want you to know from right here down on that arm, he slept outside with that hanging out from under that damn blanket till about 4 in the morning. It looked like he'd been shot with a shotgun. I swear to God, I think every creepy crawly in the Florida Keys come by and took a bite out of his ass. So, my advice to all y'all is, if you ever go down there and have a destructo night in the Florida Keys, don't sleep outside, because you're going to wake up half et by something. Alright, just try to make sure every day you go to the bathroom outside of your pants. Roll Tide.